Years 2007 and ever occurred they changed the destiny of many people. An earthquake of 8.2 degrees was recorded over the Gulf on the Tehuantepec zone west of Pijiapan, Chiapas. I remember today's is where yesterday I was getting ready to sleep after doing my homework, because the time I was the first semester of high school. I was very sleepy. I was very tired because they were the first days of school. So I took my things to my room. I put them in their place. I shook my bed and started to rest. It's 11 hours and 43 minutes. I hear a lot so that couldn't make out, explain where it was coming from. When suddenly I feel how my bed began to move strongly, and in the middle of shaking, it quickly got out from the bed. When my dad shouted, "Shake it up!" In the moment, the legs in my house with the intense movement didn't allow me to take a step. I saw how my brother left his room in terror towards the door and managed to get up quickly. At the moment, my sister and tried to get out her room, until after so many attempts, my father and mother were able to do it the same way. To date, I could only hear my brother's scream of despair in the distance. When we left the house, we saw how my truck was moving from one side to the other, while the house were falling to pieces and the people were leaving to drive it. After everything happened, we feel a lot of chills, and my dad we took with cars and went to my grandmother's house to see if she was okay. As we passed through the street of community, I couldn't believe it happened. We could hear crying, wailing, destroyed house, injured people, scarred people. My dad and my brother get out the car to help people. One found the house damaged and asked him if they were feeling okay. When my grandmother arrived, she was worried and crying. We sat down to tell about what happened. We looked at her home and realized the house had suffered a lot of damage. The people began to murmur. The sea was rising, and so has many inhabitants of my town decided to evacuate their refuge in the city of Tonalá, Chiapas. For this, I feel very dismayed and worried at the same time, because the next day we will have a segment I didn't know if it would be class, nor didn't have any idea how my friends were doing until they were okay. My family decided to stay. We spent the night in the Catholic Church in my community. We saw how people knelt and begged for forgiveness for good and their families, because they believed it was end, and never seen the church at full as that night. The temple had a very large dome, and apparently the infrastructure had not suffered any damage. We chose to stay there. Throughout the night there were many replicas while we slept under the discomfort. We were with a lot from the Arsenady. My dad, in the company of their people, stayed watching throughout the night in case any mischief occurred. The next day we saw home remains of buildings, rubble, fallen trees, broken streets, no electricity service, broken dreams, dull face, sadness and fear around me. It was unbearable, an event that will remain engraved in the memories of the people who did suffering at it. Personally, I will never forget.